Hello, my dear friends. Today I'm talking about what represent Mars returns in astrology. In astrology, a Mars return refers to the moment when the planet Mars completes a full orbit around the Sun and returns to the same zodiac sign and degree it occupied at the time of a person's birth. Similar to the concept of solar return or birthday chart, a Mars return chart is used by astrologers to gain insight into the energy, actions, and motivations that will be prominent in a person's life during the next 2 years. In Mars return, chart can give clues about a person's drive, ambition, and assertiveness, as well as potential conflicts, challenges, and opportunities. To calculate your Mars return chart, you need to know your birth date, time, and location, as well as the current position of Mars in the sky. The easiest way is to use online astro.com, for example. Let's see how it's working Mars return in zodiac signs. Aries Mars return can signal a time of heightened passion, energy, and enthusiasm. You may feel more motivated to take risks, pursue your goals, and assert your independence. However, there is also a risk of impulsiveness. For example, an Aries with a Mars return in their sign may decide to start a new business venture, but could also make hasty decisions that don't pan out in the long run. Taurus Mars return can bring a focus on security, stability, and practicality. You may feel more determined to build a solid foundation in your life, whether that means advancing in your career, improving your finances, or strengthening your relationships. You can see in your life how it's works. However, there is also risk of stubbornness and resistance to change. For example, a Taurus with a Mars return in their sign may feel completed to save money for a down payment on a house, but could also resist making changes to their spending habits that could help them achieve their goal faster. Gemini Mars return can signal a time of increased mental activity, communication, and networking. You may feel more inspired to share your ideas, learn new things, and connect with others on a variety of levels. However, there is also a risk of scatterbrained behavior and superficiality. For example, a Gemini with a Mars return in their sign may decide to take up a new hobby like writing, but could also struggle to focus on one project at a time and end up with a bunch of unfinished drafts. Cancer Mars return can bring a focus on emotional needs, home life, and nurturing others. You may feel more sensitive, empathic, and protective of those closest to you. However, there is also a risk of moodiness and possessiveness. For example, a Cancer with a Mars return in their sign may prioritize spending more time with family and friends, but could also struggle with boundaries and become overbearing or clingy. Leo Mars return can signal a time of high-tented creativity, self-expression, and confidence. You may feel more inspired to showcase your talents, pursue your passions, and stand out from the crowd. However, there is also risk of arrogance and drama-seeking behavior. For example, a Leo with a Mars return in their sign may decide to audition for a lead role in a play, but could also become overly competitive and clash with other cast members. Virgo Mars return can bring a focus on productivity, organization, and self-improvement. You may feel more motivated to refine your skills, tackle your to-do list, and make healthy lifestyle choices. However, there is also a risk of perfectionism and criticism. For example, a Virgo with a Mars return in their sign may decide to start a new workout routine, but could also become overly critical of their progress and set unrealistic expectations for themselves. Libra Mars return can signal a time of increased socializing, diplomacy, and harmony-seeking behavior. You may feel more inclined to build bridges, negotiate agreements, and maintain balance in your relationship. However, there is also a risk of indecisiveness, a people-pleasing behavior. For example, a Libra with a Mars return in their sign may decide to plan a big party, but could also struggle with making decisions about the guest list, menu, and decorations, and may end up being over backward to accommodate everyone's preferences. Scorpio Mars return can bring a focus on transformation, intensity, and empowerment. You may feel more driven to delve into your psyche, face your fears, and pursue your deepest desires. However, there is also a risk of obsession and power struggles. For example, a Scorpio with a Mars return in their sign may decide to start therapy to work through past traumas, but could also become fixated on their emotional wounds and struggle to let go of control. Sagittarius Mars return can signal a time on adventure, expansion, and optimism. You may feel more inspired to explore new horizons, broaden your knowledge, and embrace your inner explorer. However, there is also a risk of recklessness and overindulgence. For example, a Sagittarius with a Mars return in their sign may decide to take a solo trip to a foreign country, but could also overspend on flights and accommodations or engage in risky behavior while traveling. Capricorn Mars return can bring a focus on ambition, responsibility, and discipline. You may feel more motivated to climb the ladder of success, have change of your life, and work hard towards your goals. However, there is also a risk of rigidity and workaholism. For example, a Capricorn with Mars return in their sign may decide to pursue a promotion at work, but could also neglect their personal life and become overly focused on their career. Aquarius Mars return can signal a time of innovation, freedom, and rebellion. You may feel more inspired to challenge the status quo, embrace your individuality, and pursue your vision for the future. However, there is also risk of detachment and eccentricity. For example, an Aquarius with a Mars return in their sign may decide to launch a startup that disrupts an industry, but could also struggle to connect with others on an emotional level or to adhere to conventional norms. Pisces Mars return can bring a focus on spirituality, creativity, and compassion. You may feel more attuned to your intuition, inspired to create art, and motivated to help others. However, there is also a risk of escapism and martyrdom. For example, a Pisces with Mars return in their sign may decide to volunteer at a charity, but could also struggle with boundaries and burn out from taking on too much emotional labor. Let's see how is working Mars return for each house in the natal chart. A Mars return in the first house on the natal chart can signal a time of increased physical energy and assertiveness. You may feel more confident in expressing yourself and taking charge of your life. This can be a great time for starting new projects and setting personal goals. For example, a Mars return in the first house could inspire someone to start a new workout routine, take up a martial art, or launch a personal blog. A Mars return in the second house of the natal chart can bring a focus on financial security and material possessions. You may feel more motivated to work hard and earn money, or to invest in assets that have whole-term value. This can be a great time for starting a new job or business, or for developing a new financial plan. For example, a Mars return in the second house could inspire someone to negotiate a higher salary, start a side hustle, or invest in stock or real estate. A Mars return in the third house of the natal chart can signal a time of increased mental energy and communication skills. You may feel more motivated to learn new things, express your ideas, and connect with others. This can be a great time for starting a new course of study, launching a podcast or blog, or joining a public speaking club. For example, a Mars return in the third house could inspire someone to enroll in a writing workshop, start a podcast about niche interests, or organize a conference or meet-up. A Mars return in the fourth house of the natal chart can bring a focus on home and family life. You may feel more motivated to create a cozy and secure home environment, or to connect with your roots and ancestry. This can be a great time for redecorating your home, visiting family members, doing family research to discover some new things. For example, a Mars return in the 4th house could inspire someone to start a home renovation project, plan a family reunion, or write a memoir about their childhood. A Mars return in the 5th house of the natal chart can signal a time of increased creativity and self-expression. You may feel more motivated to pursue your passions and hobbies, or to connect with your inner child. This can be a great time for starting a new art project, joining a theater group, or going on a fun adventure. For example, a Mars return in the 5th house could inspire someone to write a novel, take up painting, or plan a road trip around the country. A Mars return in the 6th house on the natal chart can bring a focus on health and work routines. You may feel more motivated to adopt healthy habits, organize your work schedule, and serve others. This can be a great time to starting a new fitness program, decluttering your workspace, or volunteering for a charity. For example, a Mars return in the 6th house could inspire someone to hire a personal trainer, implement a new productivity system, or donate their time to a cause they care about. A Mars return in the 7th house of the natal chart can signal a time of increased focus on relationships and partnerships. You may feel more motivated to connect with others and form meaningful bonds, or to negotiate terms in your existing relationships. This can be a great time for starting a new romantic relationship, signing a business contract, or resolving conflicts in existing relationships. For example, a Mars return in the 7th house could inspire someone to go on a first date, sign a partnership agreement for a new business venture, or work with a therapist to improve communication in a marriage. A Mars return in the 8th house of the natal chart can bring a focus on transformation and power dynamics. You may feel more motivated to explore your deepest desires and fears, or to confront hidden issues in your relationships. This can be a great time for starting therapy or counseling, diving into spiritual practices, or working on personal growth. For example, a Mars return in the 8th house could inspire someone to begin a meditation practice, explore past life regression therapy, or face a fear of public speaking by joining a Toastmaster group. A Mars return in the 9th house of the natal chart can signal a time of increased focus on education, travel, and philosophy. You may feel more motivated to expand your horizons and seek new experiences, or to deepen your understanding of the world and its meaning. This can be a great time for studying abroad, planning a pilgrimage, or taking up a new spiritual practice. For example, a Mars return in the 9th house could inspire someone to enroll in a foreign language course, plan a backpacking trip across Europe, or study the teaching of a particular guru or master. A Mars return in the 10th house of the natal chart can bring a focus on career and public reputation. You may feel more motivated to achieve professional success and recognition, or to take on new responsibilities in your community. This can be a great time for applying for a new job or promotion, networking with colleagues, or volunteering for a leadership position in a non-profit organization. For example, a Mars return in the 10th house could inspire someone to update their resume and LinkedIn profile, attend a professional conference, or run for a local political office. A Mars return in the 11th house of the natal chart can signal a time of increased focus on friendship and social causes. You may feel more motivated to connect with like-minded people, or to join a group that shares your values and passions. This can be a great time for joining a political campaign, organizing a community event, or participating in a protest. For example, a Mars return in the 11th house could inspire someone to volunteer for a local charity, start a fundraising campaign for a social cause, or join a book club or discussion group. A Mars return in the 12th house of the natal chart can bring a focus on spirituality and research to the subconscious. You may feel more motivated to explore your inner world and connect with your intuition and higher self, or to confront and release any emotional baggage from your past. This can be a great time for engaging in meditation, journaling, or dream work, or seeking your spiritual guidance from a teacher or mentor. For example, a Mars return in the 12th house could inspire someone to begin a daily meditation practice, work with a therapist to process past trauma, or join a spiritual retreat to deepen their connection to the divine. Where do you have Mars in the natal chart, and when do you have the next Mars return? What was happened in your last Mars return? Please comment below. I'm waiting any of your questions about this topic. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Bye bye.